Gentle yoga meditation. Our practice today is celebrating the spring equinox, which celebrates the arrival of new things, leaves on trees, flowers blooming. So, of course, gentle practice today. We start in a place that feels really comfortable. Let your shoulders relax. Soften the jaw. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Turn your attention to your breath. Stay curious about your breath, following the breath in, following it out. Take a few more breaths here. Now bring some easy movement back to your body. And take some time to make your way onto your back without any props. Once you land back onto your back, just hug your knees into your chest. Maybe doing a little rock from side to side or drawing circles on the ceiling with your knees. All right, we're going to do a little rock and rolling for core strength and just to have a little bit of fun. So from your back with your knees hugged into your chest, or maybe you grabbed behind the thighs, but we're going to rock and roll ourselves up to seated. And then once you arrive in the seated position, bring your knees into your chest height. And maybe you grab to your shins, maybe again you grab to the back of the legs. We're going to roll back, but we're rolling just to the top of the shoulder, so not to the back of the head. You roll down, you roll up, and then when you come up, see if you cannot touch down. So rolling back, rolling up, pause at the top. Do a couple more. You're moving at your pace here. Just have fun with this. Don't worry too much about that stability at the top. Just have fun. Next time you roll up, pause right here. And then we're going to cross our legs, walk the fingertips out in front. Maybe you stay center, maybe you walk your hands to one side and then to the other. We'll pause here for a few breaths. All right, we are walking all the way through and coming all the way down onto our stomachs. So once you arrive on your stomach, we are going to slide the sole of the right foot up the inside part of the left leg and come to the forearms. So we are going to practice a little bit of tree stuff today in celebration of our spring equinox. So as you pause right here, just check in with that right hip. All right, and then we'll crawl our forearms over to this right side. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Good. And then we'll walk back to center. So I think we did this a few weeks ago where we sent that right arm out in front. You're going to slide your left arm underneath and then you'll roll yourself open to the ceiling. That right arm will go long to the other side of the room. And if that right arm hovers in space and it feels all right in the front of the shoulder, feel free to stay. If you feel like you need a little bit more support, you could roll further back onto that right shoulder blade. Good, and then we'll roll ourselves back to our stomachs. And let's set ourselves up in that Sphinx pose to start, and then sliding the sole of the left foot up the inside part of your right leg. Just pause here for a second, finding the opening through the front body, that opening through that left hip, or just noticing what's going on there, and then crawl the forearms over to this left side. Turn and look over your left shoulder. Forearms come back to center. The left arm slides long, the right arm underneath, and then you'll roll yourself open toward the ceiling. Just pause. Take another breath here. And then slowly roll yourself back to your stomach. We'll press up and back, extended child's pose. Finding any variation of extended child's pose or child's pose that you would like to practice. So we have 4 words that we're focused on today for this practice: restore, rebalance, refocus, recharge. So we'll do just a little easy flow very shortly, just to kind of restore the body. So coming to center with the knees underneath you in your child's pose, we'll move through a very easy flow. So the arms are stretched out in front. When you, in your next inhale, come up to a modified plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your mat. On your inhale, find a little mini cobra pose. And exhale to lower down. Press up to your modified plank pose. Press back, extended child's pose. Good, we'll flow through that again together, inhaling to find that modified plank, exhaling to lower down. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale, lower. Modified plank pose, child's pose. All right, finding this, moving through this flow at your pace. No rush. And if you'd like to practice it one more time, moving at your pace, we'll end up meeting in an extended child's pose. From your extended child's pose, if it feels okay to walk your hands a little closer together, maybe even connecting the thumbs, you might feel a little bit more through the lats, through the side of the shoulders. All right, and then we'll make our way to a tabletop position. So our next word that we're focused on is rebalancing. So we're going to practice a little balance here, looking down to your mat with that tall spine, reaching the crown of the head to the front of the room, tailbone toward the back. Core again, core strong. Send your left leg straight back behind you. Send your right arm straight out in front. So we are going to add a little movement here, and you can follow your gaze, follow your hand with your gaze if you would like. So we're going to reach around with this right hand back for those left toes, and then back and around. Do a couple more of those again. You travel at your pace, following your gaze, following your hand with your gaze. Twice I've said that wrong. Okay, again. Perfect job, good. When you return to bird dog this next time, pause right here. Maybe lift that right foot just slightly up off the mat, finding a little more balance, a little bit more core strength to hold you into this balance pose. Let your hand and your knee return to the mat and find any reset movement that would feel good. So maybe a little bit of cat and cow or just wiggling it out a little bit. And then we reset and prepare for the other side. We start by sending the right leg back behind, and then we'll send the left arm out in front. 3 times we travel. So bringing that left hand back, maybe tapping the toes, maybe not. We reach back around, extending to opposite sides of the room. 2 more like that. One more at your pace. And then reaching and extending out opposite sides of the room. If you'd like to add just that little bit of additional challenge, lift that left foot up off your mat. Let the hand and the knee return to the mat. Press back to an extended child's pose. Now you could bring the arms back alongside the legs to find child's pose. You could also find rabbit pose if it feels good to do that. Grabbing to the heels, bringing the forehead close into the knees, rolling to the crown of the head, and hanging on to the heels to stretch through the back of the shoulders. Good, let's release that. Come back to all fours, curl the toes under. Walk hands and feet together, finding standing forward bend. And let's hold. So let that upper body relax, completely passive. Find any variation of the standing forward bend that you'd like to practice. And then let's slowly make our way to stand. Choose how you get there. All right, let's do a little bit more with rebalance. So we're going to practice a tree pose. We'll start off with all of the weight. First of all, let's just start off with the weight through both feet. Feel free to close your eyes and just feel that connection of your feet to your mat. Maybe you rock side to side, maybe a little forward and back. And then we'll bring all of the weight to the right foot. That left foot, you find where you would like to place the foot along the inner part of that right leg. All right, feel that connection, foot to leg, leg to foot. Quiet your mind. If you'd like to change the arms, feel free to do that. Take one more breath here. Beautiful. Let's release. We'll do the same thing other side. So first finding that full connection of foot to mat. And then when you're ready, placing that right foot along the inner left part of the leg, anywhere along there. Hands could be to heart. You could send your arms up. Standing tall. Take one more breath. And gently release down. Very nice. Good. Shake out whatever you might need to shake out there. Let's move to the front end of the mat. So now we're into our refocus. If you want to have, we're going to do some hip opening. If you'd like to have your blocks, feel free to grab those. Feet hip bone width apart. Let's inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. We'll start off here with a few half salutes. So we're going to open up through the front body. Inhale to lengthen the arms back up. With soft knees, dive yourself forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep all the way up, stretch up tall. Exhale, back bend. Let's do that one more time, then we'll add on. Inhale, lengthen up, dive fully forward as you exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep all the way up. Exhale, back bend. Let's make a few changes. We'll inhale, lengthen up. Let's find a crescent moon to the right. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale, crescent moon to your left. Good. Inhale to come back up to center. This time we're going to go back to that right side, but feel free to add a little bit more, grabbing that left wrist if you'd like. We'll pause, so if you'd like to find and vary how you are moving to this side, feel free to do that. Good. And then we come back up to center, up and over to that other side. Again, we pause, we hold. Good. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale your arms down to your side just for a second here, and then we'll send the arms back up into the air. This time you're going to twist to the right. Maybe you add that right knee up as you twist, maybe not. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale to twist to your left, adding that balance piece if you would like. Good. One more time each way. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist left. Very nice. Inhale, center. Exhale to open. Inhale to lengthen up, dive fully forward as you exhale. Half lift up and fold. Right foot stays, left foot steps back for a lunge. Good. Let's pause right here with that back knee up off the mat. And let's find a little bit of movement. We're adding some cat and cow-ish shapes. So we'll first find cow. So try to open up through the front of the chest as much as possible. And even drop those hips down just a little bit. Yes, good. All right, now we'll begin to straighten out through that right leg and fold over the leg. Inhale to bend the knee, opening up. Exhale to straighten and fold. One more time, bend the knee. Straighten and fold. Good, now return to the bend. Do a quarter pivot. You're facing the long edge of your mat. And we'll do a little bit here for the left inner thigh. Now, if you'd like to stay, feel free to do that. You could also move yourself from side to side. Your toes are angled out toward the corners of your mat. Good. The next time the right knee is bent, do a quarter pivot to return, facing the front of the mat. We'll drop the back knee to the mat, finding any shape that feels right here for you. So 90 degree shapes or a little diagonal on that back leg, but walk yourself up. Let's send the arms all the way up. We'll do just a little bit for shoulders here. So we're bringing the arms into 90-degree angles. And from here, I want you to think about the elbow going forward just a little bit and the tops of the hands going back just a little bit. Good, and then let's completely change that. Let the arms go back behind you, maybe clasping the hands behind, opening up here through the front body. Hands down around your right foot, shifting your weight back to find your half splits. Good. Pausing center or both hands to the outside of that right leg, your choice. Come back to center, shift your weight forward, step your left foot in to join your right, step your right foot back, We'll do that same series other side. So we've been here, done that on that first side. See what you can focus on here just to find if there's anything different on this side from a hip perspective, hip tightness. We start off with that deep bend, finding a little bit of a cow pose through the upper body, through the torso. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll begin to straighten and let yourself fold over that front leg. On your next inhale, bend the knee, opening up through the front body. As you exhale, straighten and fold. One more time, bend and open, straighten and fold. Good, we'll return to the bend and we do a quarter pivot. You'll face the long edge of your mat. Again, you have a little time here on your own. We are going to meet up on this, facing this long edge very shortly. Good, now come center, angle your toes to face the long edge of the mat. Maybe you can pigeon toe your feet in just a little bit and let yourself relax forward into this wide leg standing forward bend. If you'd like to vary the arms, you could walk your hands through, you could walk your hands forward, wide leg standing forward, or wide leg down dog. Anything here. We'll take 2 more breaths. And then let's walk ourselves around to face the front of the mat. Drop that back knee to the mat, finding whatever shape feels right here for you. And then we'll walk ourselves up. All right, so we have this same thing for the shoulder. So if you bring your arms up into those 90-degree shapes, and then it's just a little tilt back of the hand and a little tilt forward of the elbow. Good, and then let the arms go back behind you this time, placing the fist to the lower part of the back. Draw the elbows back and the chest forward, stretching through the front body. Hands down around your left foot. Let's shift our weight back to find our half splits. Good, stay center or walk both hands over or place both hands to the outside of that left leg. Beautiful, come back to center, walk yourself forward. Let's let that left knee go back to join the right. Find your modified plank pose. Lower all the way down to your mat. On your inhale, find your back bend and just pause. Opening up through the front body. Take one more breath here. Good, and then lower all the way down, very nice. Press up and back to either down dog or child's pose, your choice. Feel free if you are in down dog just to pedal it out or find movement that feels right. All right, we're going to walk our hands into our feet and we'll roll up one vertebra at a time. All right, we're going to wrap things up at the wall. So if you want to bring your mat, that is all you should need there, unless you'd like to bring a block to support your hips for the last little bit of class. So we're going to put our legs up the wall. And this is our time to recharge. Once you have your legs up the wall, we are actually going to start with outer thigh here. So the right leg will stay up, the left ankle above that right knee. Maybe sliding the sole of the right foot down the wall. Let your arms relax, let your shoulders relax. Slowly slide the sole of the right foot back up the wall. We'll switch to the other side. Slowly slide the left foot back up the wall, send both legs up. For outer thigh, inner thigh, whatever you would like here, just take some time to do whatever else you might need to open up through the sides of the hips. Maybe it's more outer thigh on one side. Whatever you choose, notice what's happening through your upper body. Shoulders, neck, face, relax. And now let's meet with both legs straight up. We are going to practice a twist here. If it ends up being too much, you can always push yourself away from the wall a little bit, but slide the soles of both feet down the wall. Send your arms out wide in the shape of a T, and we'll begin to crawl our feet over to the right side. So you choose how far over your feet go. Again, if it's too much, maybe pushing yourself away from the wall. Turning to look to your left adds your neck stretch. Slowly walk your feet to center and over to the left. Turning to look to your right. Slowly walk your feet back to center. All right, we are preparing for final relaxation. So if there's any other movement that you'd like, if you'd like to change from being against the wall, feel free to do that. This is your opportunity to recharge. So I am going to turn the music down. Bring your focus back to your breath. Stay curious about your breath. Each time you inhale and exhale, follow your breath like it's the first time you've taken a breath. creation is ongoing. The world begins anew each day. This is the miracle that makes not a sound, but which changes everything if we can be quiet enough to feel it happen. When we can participate in this, we begin anew each day. Consider how the sun washes the earth with its heat, and then clouds dissipate, and grasses grow, and stones crumble when no one is looking to reveal a smoother, deeper face. It is the same with us. In a moment of realness, the clouds in our mind clear, and our passion is restored, and our walls crumble when no one is looking. It all continues and refreshes if we let it. It all renews so subtly. We think it is night that covers the world, but everything living is recreated in that mysterious moment of rest that blankets us all. And each time you blink, you pause to let your heart flutter with nothing but air to flutter about. Each time you open your eyes, you can begin again. It's true. This is a moment of resurrection, the opening of our eyes. Bring some gentle movement back to your body. We'll make our way to a seated position. Take your time to get there. Let's take one more big deep breath in together. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. This is from the Muppets version of A Christmas Carol. The glory around you is born again each day. Namaste.